Now on Nightside, it's what so many have been hoping to see. Help coming from the skies tonight to fight the wildfires in Spokane County.
And that's not the only help coming from the skies. Rain is on the way to help our firefighters, plus more good news about our air quality in the first alert forecast.
And Mount Spokane shares an eerie warning. Flames seen in the distance in their night cam. Now, Nightside. And thanks for staying up with us tonight. I am Kirsten O'Connor, the mayor of Medical Lake, sharing progress on the Gray Fire and the people who were forced from their homes on Friday.
We have a population of 5,000. Looking at the map, I said I expect at least 4,000 people are going to be able to be rehomed back in their homes today. That would be my guess, but don't hold me to it.
Spokane County still under a state of emergency tonight after several grueling nights of uncertainty. The majority of Medical Lake residents are now home, sleeping in their own beds. Evacuations have been downgraded to level 1 for the north part of Medical Lake and northeasternmost side of the zone. It is a remarkable turnaround from what we saw on Friday. More than 500 fire crews have been working on the Gray Fire, and dozens of utility workers have been working around the clock, clearing out broken power lines, gas leaks, and trees that posed a threat. Some of those utility workers were trying to bring back power despite losing their own homes.
The impacts are great. We actually have one of our linemen that lost one of his outbuildings, and he's active. I just saw him 10 minutes ago. He's helping restore services to the community here in Medical Lake. Yeah, it's, this is a tough situation out here. People have lost a lot. I think we're all thankful for what we have. And, I'll say to this lineman, he knows this community, and I think he wants to see it get restored.
People sleeping at home tonight have full access to water, power, and sewage. The first good news in quite a while for the people of Medical Lake. Less than 50 miles away in Elk, the Oregon Road fire still runs wild, showing no mercy to homes in its path. On your screen, we're showing you the most updated level 3 evacuations for this fire that has scorched over 10,000 acres. Anyone living in the area in red on your screen needs to leave if you haven't already. And in this video, you can see what used to be homes and neighborhoods. A crew of more than 400 on the fire lines trying to control the Oregon Road fire, but still no sign of containment. Our Peter Choi's been covering this fire in Elk for the past 2 days now, and he's seen the wreckage up close and talked with the communities who are still waiting to find out if their homes made it. Tonight, he shares the story of one man who lost more than his home in the fire.
Your emotions are, as the days go on, it's getting better. You sleep at night thinking, what do I do next?
Walking through now burned piles, Dave Henkel says, can't believe this is the reality now.
And this was a deck, or not a deck, but a porch here. It had an overhang on it.
Last Friday, the wildfire completely wiped out everything he owned for years.
People will ask you questions. Oh yeah, I got that, and then your brain goes, no, you don't. Everything's gone.
As walking down to where the garage was used to be,
I'm a mechanic, so
Henkel showed a burned card.
This is a 47 Chevy.
To him, he says it was more than just a car.
And it was, give me a minute. Me and my brothers.
Years of memories that he still remembers.
Me and my brothers and my dad built that car for my dad, and he passed away, I don't know, 7, 8 years ago from Lou Gehrig's. So then my mom had it, and she passed away 2 years ago. So I ended up with it.
Henkel says it's overwhelming to face this tragedy, but he stays hopeful.
All Chevy, big block, it's a small block 350, so.
And just like the way he built a car for his dad, he will restart from the beginning.
Probably rebuild. We're going to start with the shop first, I think.
New on Nightside. Video taken by 4 News Now's Mark Peterson. What you're seeing is a Sikorsky firefighting aircraft flying overhead, likely going to fight the Oregon Road fire near Elk. Machines like these can help drop water to stop the spread of wildfires.
Yes!
And Christina Clark sharing this video with unmistakable joy in her voice as more firefighting planes were spotted overhead. One of Spokane's most traveled roads is back open tonight. Monday afternoon, drivers were welcomed back on both directions of I-90 after it's been closed since Friday because of the Gray fire. And as you drive down I-90, you can clearly see the scars left behind by the fire. Even smoke and small flames still visible. And while this looks very eerie, WashDOT officials say the roads are safe to drive on. Monday morning, crews were out surveying about 13 miles of impacted roadway with the main focus of cutting down trees that could have been a danger to drivers.
Yesterday we had several trees that randomly fell onto the roadway, so today cleaning those up in coordination with them and then taking down trees that are further an issue for the traveling public.
Before I-90 reopened, this was the view in Cheney. A lot of slow-moving traffic there because of those detours with cars and semis driving through town. At one point, people were telling our crews that the detours added 30 minutes to their routes. Well, traffic is clearing, but what about all that smoke in the air? Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker has a look at our air quality tonight.
Kirsten, just about everything is working in our favor for the time being. Our air quality in Spokane in the good range for the first time in quite a few days. 34 is what it is presently around the region. We are either in the good range or in the moderate range, at least right in the Spokane area and Coeur d'Alene. Let's zoom out and take a look at our radar now. The precipitation today has been hard to come by in Spokane. We've had quite a bit more down on the Palouse and into the central panhandle, but we're going to get another chance to see some rain early tomorrow morning and into the early afternoon, possibly some thunderstorms as well. Here's our forecast radar. By about 4 o'clock in the morning, starting to see that rain moving in. Don't be surprised if you're a late sleeper if you hear some rumbles of thunder in the morning, and that chance of precipitation will continue through part of the afternoon. Winds have died down. We're looking at winds at 10 miles per hour or less around the region, and that's about where they'll stay tonight as well as tomorrow. That's not going to be a challenge. Our relative humidity has been a tremendous improvement. You can see here the percentage of relative humidity is 74% at Fairchild Air Force Base, 79 in Cheney. These numbers were in the low single digits on Friday. So again, everything working in our favor. Tomorrow, it's going to be a cool day, a high temperature of 74. That's about 10 degrees below average with the chance of showers, possibly some isolated thunderstorms at least through the afternoon. I'll be back to break this down a little better hour by hour for you and have your 7-day forecast, let you know about the return of some hot, dry weather. That's coming up in just a few minutes. Kirsten.
Some great news there. Thank you, Chris. And while many of us are breathing easier, it's important to keep checking on our air quality levels. School districts and colleges canceled outdoor practices again today, and local pools were closed too. The Sky Ride in downtown Spokane will be closed and still, just like you're seeing there, until air quality dramatically improves. Mount Spokane shared this haunting photo tonight on their Facebook page. You can see flames from the Oregon Road fire not that far in the distance from the backside of the mountain. Right now, the state park is still closed to all car, foot, and bike traffic until further notice. And we're keeping a running list of events and locations that are canceled or postponed. You can find it right now on KXLY.com.
Well, someday there's going to be a book written about just how bizarre the demise of the Pac-12 really was. But on Monday, it added another wrinkle in the story as Washington Athletic Director Jen Cohen accepted the same job at USC. Of course, the Trojans are in the same conference as the Huskies and will be next year as well when both teams enter the Big Ten. Cohen was very instrumental in UW's exit from the Pac-12 as she spent the last 7 years at the helm. But it's hard to turn down a school like USC when they come knocking, and certainly the pay raise doesn't hurt at all.
25 years in college sports, all the coaches and administrators are here, you know, that's a long run. to be able to do that and to make so many memories and create so many special accomplishments together. And so UW is always going to have a very special place in my heart, except for any time they play the Trojans, right? Yeah.
And the Seattle Mariners are officially the hottest team in baseball as they dismantled the Chicago White Sox on Monday night, taking the series opener 14-2. The man of the night was easily Cal Raleigh. He goes 3 for 5 with 2 home runs and 6 RBI. As starting pitcher Luis Castillo didn't even need some run support this time around. The ball club has now won 25 of their last 36 games since the All-Star break. And now with the win, Seattle is a game in front of the Toronto Blue Jays for that final wild card spot and just 2 games behind the Rangers for the first place in the AL West. Kirsten, send it back over to you.
Alex, thank you. More updates on the wildfires in our region after the break, plus families, business owners, and communities digging deep to find their next steps after these fires have taken so much. When we come back, we'll share some of the helpers in this time of crisis.
Track live radar on the 4 News Now weather app.
Take a day off, skip Mondays, and be water-wise this summer.
Fresh produce is the best produce. That's why at Fred Meyer, we invest in local farmers to bring you the freshest seasonal picks. So no matter how you shop, your local produce always tastes as fresh as it gets. Fred Meyer, fresh for everyone.
At Kaiser Permanente, we care for all those who make your family, well, your family. That's why all of us work together to give them the care and caring that any family would. Kaiser Permanente, for all that is you.
Wildfire season is here and we may be affected by smoke. Protect your health by being prepared. 1. Check current air quality and fire activity online and plan accordingly. 2. When it's smoky, limit or avoid time outdoors. And 3. Keep indoor air as clean as possible. Replace home air filters more often and set the air conditioner to the recirculate mode. For the latest information about wildfires and air quality, visit the Washington Smoke blog, wasmoke.blogspot.com.
Wow, you get to watch all your favorite stuff. It's to die for, and it's all right here. Streaming was never this easy, you know. This is the way.
Get internet on the Xfinity 10G network made for streaming for $19.99 a month for 12 months.
Can you turn on the volume? Here, you can try.
Get way more into what you're into when you stream on the Xfinity 10G network.
Pop the champagne, humanity. We've done it.
Celebrate your night with big winners, shocking thrills, and living legends.
No, I've always thought of you as Dave Jr.
Every hair on my body is standing up right now.
Jimmy Kimmel Live, weeknights on ABC.
At Fred Meyer, everyone wins when it comes to savings because you get the same great prices, deals, and rewards on pickup or delivery as you do in store. So no matter how you shop, everyone saves big. Fred Meyer, fresh for everyone.
4 News Now is brought to you by Coeur d'Alene Casino Resort Hotel.
Taking a look around the nation tonight, President Biden visited Maui today. During his visit, he toured the wildfire damage and spoke in the city of Lahaina.
What I've observed in my short time here today is the courage, the community, the sense of togetherness you have. It's not an ordinary community. It's a community based on faith in one another.
Well, that sense of togetherness is also being shown here in the Inland Northwest. During this time of great need in our community, businesses and neighbors are ready to give what they can at a moment's notice. You may have heard Mr. Rogers has said in times of crisis, find the helpers. And that's what we want to do. Many families are hurting right now, and businesses and organizations are raising money and donating products to those impacted by the wildfires. No Lie Brewhouse is hoping to raise $50,000 over just the next couple of days. We spoke to the owner earlier today, and $15,000 in donations have already poured in. No Lie is matching dollar for dollar up to $25,000 for the cause. And the owner says money will go to help families transition until they can file their insurance claims. Another business, Little Noodle in the Garland District and Garden Party, are donating a portion of their food and beer sales this week. Owner Kadra Evans was born and raised in Elk and has strong ties to Medical Lake.
I have goosebumps from how awful this is and no way to help. So this is just the little thing I can do, and trying to find more ways to help out. I would love any ideas.
People who order and bring in a canned item will receive a discount this week. The organization Beauty Share Project is also holding a hygiene drive for victims impacted by the fires. They will be looking for brand new items like shampoo, body lotion, body wash, brushes, lip balm, and more. You can find more organizations, charities, and businesses that are going out of their way to lend a hand on our website, kxly.com. Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker is with me now. Chris, just another example of communities stepping up in times of need, and this community is very strong and very, tight-knit when it comes to any type of fire.
Yes, and I think people of all walks of life are looking for a way to help. It's so good that these businesses are helping them do just that. Inland strong. And again, the news is good in terms of the weather for the next 24 hours. Tonight, look for a chance of showers with an overnight low down in the 50s. Tomorrow, showers, possible thunderstorms. We're not going to see widespread thunderstorm activity. A high of 74 degrees. Those cool days really helping our firefighters as well. Although we are taking a big, deep breath of clear air in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene right now, down through Moscow and Pullman and Lewiston, there are still many communities that are in the very unhealthy range from Omak down through Moses Lake in the Tri-Cities, in the unhealthy range for Republic down through Ritzville, and we still have some smoke around the region. And really, we're going to be battling our air quality and smoky skies off and on through the end of fire season. Here's a look at our smoke forecast starting off at our current time. We're in great shape right now, but there's more smoke coming in for tomorrow. Right now, it looks like it will be light to moderate. However, a lot of that does depend on the fire behavior and how much rain we can get out of this system tomorrow. But it does not look like we're going to be deep in that hazardous and very unhealthy range tomorrow. Morning lows across the region in the 50s and 60s. High temperatures in the 70s just about everywhere. 81 in Lewiston, 81 degrees in Omak. Here's a look at your planning forecast. After tomorrow, we're done with the rain for a couple of days, and we'll be back up around average for our highs on Thursday. A slight chance of rain coming on Friday, and then we are heading into a warm weekend. Looks like we may be back in the 90s for Sunday and Monday. I'll be back in just a few minutes. I want to go over the rain tomorrow hour by hour and let you know about more rain possibly in the 8 to 14 day forecast. Kirsten?
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app.
If something's missing in your morning without a McDonald's breakfast, then try a new bagel sandwich. With fluffy egg, melty cheese, and your choice of a steak patty with grilled onion or bacon or sausage, well, those will fill the void deliciously. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Set summer in motion with the most fun-to-drive Honda vehicles yet. Like the Civic, a vehicle car and driver called more fun to drive than the competition. And the HR-V, with sleek exterior styling and smooth, responsive handling. This summer, chase fun in the sun with Honda, the most awarded brand in Car and Driver 10 Best history. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local Honda dealer today.
I'm Mark Peterson, the Extreme Team and Horizon Credit Union, ready to take on the next task. If you know of a project that needs an Extreme Team makeover, go to KXLY.com to nominate it. 4 News Now Extreme Team brought to you by Horizon Credit Union.
92.9 CCU.
A treacherous wildfire season ahead.
The next wildfire is not a question of if, it's a question of when.
4 News Now Fire Watch coverage, keeping you safe with resources on TV, online, and on the go with the 4 News Now app.
All the components are in place for a large fire.
That fire has grown exponentially.
The winds will bring more smoke into the region.
We've even seen flames from the distance we are.
Fire Watch coverage to keep you safe. That's what we mean when we say expect more on 4 News Now.
I think they like each other.
I'm Charles. Lunch?
Vanessa. I like lunch.
Give in to deliciousness. Buy one craveable classic and get another one for $1. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
4 News Now is brought to you by the Tin Roof.
A look now at the damage Tropical Storm Hillary is bringing the West Coast. This is harbor damage in Long Beach, California. You can see debris floating there in the water. That storm is now moving out of Southern California, and several communities are still overwhelmed by the historic rainfall. ABC's Tim Pulliam has the latest from Los Angeles.
Despite heavy rain, flooding, and powerful winds, Southern California avoiding the brunt of Hillary's harm. With the storm now downgraded and headed north, Los Angeles leaders still warning residents to be careful.
The fact that it wasn't the catastrophe that had been anticipated, we are very happy about.
During the height of the storm, officials estimate more than 41,000 people were without power. Crews responding to more than 1,800 emergencies in nearly 100 traffic accidents in LA County. This video shows a road collapsing as vehicles drive by. Hillary washed away roads and caused dangerous mud flows. In Cathedral City, aerials show mud flows swallowing these vehicles. Neighbors in northern LA County forced to evacuate.
I told my girlfriend to get the kids, get my daughter, and get out. I mean, there was nothing we could do. I've never seen this ever before.
The first tropical storm to strike California in more than 25 years, making landfall Sunday evening near Baja California, Mexico. Hillary dumping record rainfall across the region.
Palm Springs area, just over 3 inches of rain, but that made it the wettest August day on record. And the rain's not over. You can still see that moisture streaming in up through parts of Nevada, into Utah, still in Arizona as well, and making their way to the Pacific Northwest.
In the middle of Hillary's wrath, a surprise 5.1 magnitude earthquake about 80 miles northwest of downtown Los Angeles.
Chief, I'm really sorry to interrupt you right now. Our studio is shaking right now, so not only are we dealing with a tropical storm, but it appears we're now dealing with an earthquake.
Experts say the storm had nothing to do with the quake. And there was no significant damage or injuries during the earthquake or storm. In Los Angeles, the second largest school district will reopen tomorrow. Tim Pulliam, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Well, send it back over to Chris, and I know we had some hopes that we would be getting some of that rain from Hillary.
So far, only a few sprinkles in Spokane. We have had some heavier rain down on the Palouse and the Central Panhandle, the LC Valley, but we have a better chance to get some of that residual moisture from the remnants of Hillary tomorrow. 80% chance of rain in the morning. That drops to 60% chance, still pretty good chance, through the early afternoon, mid-afternoon, and then really tapers off as we get into tomorrow evening. Forecast radar starting off at midnight. Wouldn't rule out a rumble of thunder overnight or early tomorrow morning. Here's 8 a.m. with a good chance of rain across the region. That will continue but taper off a little bit in the afternoon. By 6 o'clock tomorrow evening, we will be dry over most of the region and will stay dry. We do have a flood watch in effect for that area that I mentioned, the Central Panhandle down through Lewiston. So close. If we could just get some of that rain a little bit further to the west, some of that rain. Obviously, flooding rains on burn scars are not a good combination, but right now things are looking up for us. Some rain tomorrow, a 2-day break, a slight chance of rain on Friday before we heat up for the weekend with dry conditions. Our long-range forecast, however, this is the 8 to 14-day outlook, August 29th through September 4th, shows us in that medium color green, indicating a fair amount of confidence that we have more wet weather coming to end August and into September. Meanwhile, a hopeful and cheerful photo tonight in the pick of the night. I thought maybe everybody could use a bright sunflower out on the Rathdrum Prairie, courtesy of Linda Hubler. She took this Friday morning. Skies did not look that way at Friday evening, but thank you, Linda, for that cheerful pick of the night. Kirsten.
I love to see a sunflower. Thank you, Chris. FEMA has approved a fire management assistance grant to help cover the cost of our firefighting efforts. The government will cover 75% 5% of the state's eligible expenses for equipment use, tools, materials, supplies, and more. These funds are strictly for firefighting, and individual homes and business owners are not covered by this specific grant. The Washington State Cougars are less than 2 weeks from kicking off their season. Coming up in sports, Alex Crescendi has more on how the team is preparing now that classes have started on campus.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app.
4 News Now is brought to you by STCU, here for good.
I am the happy face killer.
We've got a letter signed with a smiley face.
You know, happy face, smile, and 2 eyes. He's teasing the police. Like, here I am, see if you can find me.
Once my parents divorced, my father's behavior became more erratic and creepy. I just need to take a break for a minute.
I always believed that the truth would come out eventually. I just didn't think the truth would come out of the mouth of a serial killer.
2020, Friday at 9/8 Central on ABC.
Arby's Hush Puppy breaded fish strips and fries. The best combo made in the South since you and all became y'all. Arby's, we have the meat.
Despite the cape, Tom here has no actual superpowers. He just entered the Super Sevens giveaway at Northern Quest. Now he's got a shot at $77,777 this month and a Yukon Denali next month. So naturally, he feels super. And we're feeling lucky he's not in a full spandex bodysuit. The Super Sevens giveaway at Northern Quest. Get your free entries daily. Details at northernquest.com.
4 News Now Fire Watch coverage.
That fire has grown exponentially.
With resources on TV, online, and on the go with the 4 News Now app. Fire Watch coverage to keep you safe. That's what we mean when we say expect more on 4 News Now.
Dear 2030, we look forward to seeing you. After our 160-point quality assurance inspection, we'll be Toyota certified used vehicles with 7-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranties. Not to honk our own horns, but the best new cars make the best used cars. Yours, Toyota. Get 5.49% APR for up to 60 months on a Toyota certified used Camry, Corolla, or RAV4. Find yours at toyotacertified.com. Toyota, let's go places.
As if the Pac-12 conference saga wasn't already bizarre enough, today we got another wrinkle in the story as University of Washington Athletic Director Jennifer Cohen accepted the same job at USC. Cohen led the Huskies athletic department for the past 7 years, and maybe her most memorable impact is helping move the university from the Pac-12 into the Big Ten this past month. Now, this is a bit odd because USC is also going to be moving to the Big Ten next year, but it was hard for the Southern California native to pass up a job like this.
I love to compete. I love to be part of a community, and I absolutely love developing people. Coaches, student athletes, staff, ourselves. That's kind of my why. And that is what drew me to USC.
Now, as for the Huskies' former rival, we still don't know where the Washington State Cougars are going to be headed next year. But on Friday, we got a better sense of what the options the university are currently looking at. University President Kirk Schultz has 3 routes he says they are looking at right now. The first is the most obvious. That's going to be the Mountain West Conference. The second is going to be out east to the American Athletic Conference. And then the third is a merger of all 3 into what Schultz calls the Pac-X.
I think each of those we're pursuing in a parallel pathway, and we want to evaluate what's going to be best for WSU, what's going to be best for our student athletes, what's going to be a good academic and athletic fit. And I think one thing I want to remind everybody is also, you know, we want to be in a position where we control our own destiny as an institution and are not dependent on anybody else. And we want to be in a conference in a place where we can win conference championships.
Now, we know the university will take some sort of financial hit as they were so reliant on that media rights deal in the Pac-12, but Schultz says still too early to find out what kind of impact that's going to have on campus. Meanwhile, the Cougar football team is busy getting ready for the start of their season. Over the weekend, the team wrapped up fall camp for the second scrimmage, and we saw the offense shine, especially from quarterback Cam Ward, who finished with more touchdowns than completions in that scrimmage. But now the focus shifts a little bit away from football and into the classroom as first day of fall classes started today.
Typically, that is always everyone's worst practice of the year, the first day of school, right? So to get on routine, I think, is the biggest thing, and that's the same thing for coaches. So our players, hey, this is my class schedule, this is when I have breaks, this is when I'm going to study film, this is when I'm at tutors, this is meetings, and really, I think humans are creatures of habit. So the better we can build that routine, get out of fall camp mode where you are football 24/7, and then see a little bit broader spectrum now that school starts.
So now we're out of fall camp. We can finally officially put this graphic up just 12 days away from the season opener out in Fort Collins against Colorado State. Now let's head out to Chicago, where the Mariners were starting a series with the White Sox, looking to keep that momentum going. In the fifth, M's already up, and Cal Raleigh is going to add to that lead. A shot down the right field line, that's gone. Good enough for his 23rd home run of the season. Then in the eighth, Raleigh up to bat once again. Runners on the corners, and that is lifted high and gone. Another home run for the big dumper, all part of a 6 RBI night for him. And the floodgates are just opening now for Seattle. But what's one more for good measure? Later in the inning, rookie Dominic Canzone gets in on the action with his 3rd home run of the season. As Seattle's bats explode, they go on to win this one 14-2. And with about 6 weeks to go in the regular season, Seattle is in great position to make the postseason once again, as they currently hold a 1-game lead for the final wildcard spot. And they're only 2 games back of first place in the division, so get ready to buckle up. 4 News Now, we'll be right back.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app. At 4 News Now, we believe you should expect more from local news. Our team is committed to a community conversation and bringing you information you need when and where you need it. Numerica believes in and supports that mission.
If your checking account isn't earning you money, it's time to switch to bonus checking from Numerica. The account that earns an incredible 2% annual percentage yield. That could earn you up to $500 every year or more.
You know, life is dangerous enough without the negligence of others that cause accidents that threaten your physical and financial health. Hello, I'm Lloyd Herman. If you need legal assistance due to an accident or an injury, put my 40 years of experience of dealing with the insurance companies to work for you. Call my offices here in Spokane. I can help you now. When you call, you'll speak to me, or you'll have an appointment to speak to me within 48 hours. I guarantee it. Lloyd Herman & Associates, 922-6600.
$3 pitcher night. A couple cocktails. An edible. And a nature documentary. What do all these people have in common? A friend like you, who offered a ride, or made sure they got in a ride share, or provided a couch to crash on. Thanks for keeping the roads a little safer tonight, Washington. Together, we get there.
You know, you've got it pretty good. Streaming this much stuff was never this easy.
Yes, let's go.
Nice eye thingies.
They're collagen boosters.
Get internet on the Xfinity 10G network made for streaming for $19.99 a month for 12 months. And Add Now TV for $20. It's the best value in live TV and streaming.
You guys like this show too?
Yes, chef!
Get way more into what you're into when you stream on the Xfinity 10G network.
See breaking news in your area or have a story idea? Contact 4 News Now.
I don't know when I have been so excited to see some rain on the graphic for tomorrow in cooler than average conditions. 74, good chance of showers in the morning. That odds taper off in the afternoon, and possibly a little bit of thunderstorm activity. Of course, firefighters will be keeping a close eye on any lightning strikes, new fire starts. Really the last thing we want to see right now.
And you're not alone in being excited. We had a couple of people in we use Teams. I don't know about any of you out there in the ether who are using Microsoft Teams, but anyhow, apparently somebody saw a drop of rain in Newport tonight, so we're all very excited.
It's exciting.